People think intimacy is about, the intimate depth that you have with someone else. And I say you can only go as deep with someone else as they have allowed to go within themselves.
Ooh.
You understand what I'm saying? How can you allow me close to the center of your heart,
And you're not even there.
And you've never visited that space? How is that possible? I can't go deep with you. You're not deep with yourself.
So there's a type of intelligence that needs to take place.
Exactly. There's an awareness. There's self-awareness, and in that course, in that workshop, I talked about emotional intelligence, self-awareness, understanding who you are, understanding your emotions when they arise, managing them, being empathetic, right? And managing the relationship that you have with yourself and with others. But that intimacy box is love requires trust, right? Wait, love requires respect. Respect requires trust. Trust requires safety. And the only way for that box to be connected is if you apply primary love through compassionate communication, right? And compassionate communication requires a level of cognitive empathy. People need to feel seen, heard, valued, understood, and believed, right? And that is an expression that you need to be able to, that's a verbal expression that you need to have with somebody and say, it's safe for you to be yourself. It's okay to be transparent. It's okay to be vulnerable, right? You may have to be willing to share something about you first. Sometimes people will only feel safe if they see your vulnerability first. And now it's like a waving of a white flag and saying, see, I gave, right? So it's okay that you give too. And now
N2Me, see?
Mm-hmm. See? It's okay to see into me. See into me, right? And now that you feel safe, I can trust someone I feel safe with. I can respect someone I can trust and feel safe with. I can love someone that I respect, trust, and feel safe with because they allow me to be vulnerable, transparent in myself. How can you respect someone you don't trust? How can you trust someone you don't feel safe with? How can you feel safe with someone that you can't be open and honest and yourself with, right? You are going to constantly give them a representative. You are going to shape shift and conform into a version of someone else or yourself that is not fully who you are, right? To pacify or appease that person. That's not safety. That's not safety. That's a representative. That's being false and being fake. And your spirit and who you are cannot settle in a place like that. Now, in relationships that don't have that level of intimacy, they don't last. Because people eventually, have you ever just been out in the world and you performed and you did everything you were supposed to do and you finally come home and you're like, unsnap the bra, and you're like, oh, now I can just be myself, right? Now I can just be myself. When you are intimate in a relationship with somebody, it should feel like that when you're with them. And that's what that course is. Understanding how to offer primary love, meaning creating a space for someone to be authentically themselves, fully transparent and vulnerable, without fear of judgment and condemnation, with the understanding that you are determined and committed to understanding them. It's the understanding and believing them. You don't have to agree with what everybody says. It's not that you approve of what everybody does and says, right? But I believe you and I'm committed to understanding you.
Get your vitamin D